Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And we often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day. Hi, everybody. Good evening. It's Yaz. Tonight I'm going to talk about how much does your partner really care about you? There's a lot of people dating someone or in a relationship, and they're really confused. They don't know how much their partner is into them or how much they like them, okay? And I always say to people, the way you know if somebody really likes you is by how they treat you, okay? It's not what's coming out of their mouth, because a lot of people say things just to appease you or to keep you around, all right? But how somebody treats you is how much they like you. The better they treat you, usually the more they like you. And when I say treat you, is that they're giving you their time, okay? When somebody gives you their time or is willing to spend on you if they can or they can afford it, then they're vesting into you. They're into the relationship. They're trying to make it work with you, okay? If you're with somebody that is not giving you their time, that is somebody that is not really trying to make it work with you, all right? Unless they're in a very busy type of position at their work and they don't have a lot of time to begin with. But when people really want to be around someone, they will make time for that person. Remember that. Even the busiest person in the world, if they like you and they want to be with you, they will find a way, okay? They won't be coming up with excuses all the time why they can't see you, all right? So what they show you is a clue to how much they like you, all right, you guys? When they put thought into getting together with you, and especially in the beginning of a relationship, when they take time to think out of a date and plan a date, okay, that's somebody that is into you and wants something really nice for the two of you, all right? But if somebody is just contacting you and just wants to, link up, hook up, can I come to your place? That's just somebody just looking to hang out most of the time, all right? So what they show you is how much they care about you. Also, when somebody really cares about you, all right, they're going to listen to you. It's not going to be a situation where you feel you're talking to the other person and they're just like shaking their head, or it's going in one ear and out the other. They're going to absorb what you're saying and they're going to care, all right? If you're dealing with somebody who's indifferent to what you're saying, then they really don't care. They really don't care much about what you're talking about, unless it's a topic that you guys have had a lot of disagreements on, and maybe you've beaten the topic to death and they're at a point where they just can't hear it anymore, all right? So you have to really look at your situation. Every situation is a little different, but when you're with somebody, whether you're dating them or you're in a relationship, notice if the person is giving you their time, if they're willing to take you out and invest their money in you, okay? I mean, there are rare cases where there's always exceptions to the rule, you guys, where somebody is an exceptionally cheap person and doesn't want to spend a dime on anybody, all right? But in most cases, when somebody really likes you, they don't mind spending for the date, okay? They don't mind doing something nice with you rather than just hanging out in somebody's house, all right? So they're going to take the time to get to know you. They won't have a problem with doing things with you other than, it always leading into hanging out or being in a bedroom situation. They're going to want to really get to know you. All right. And if you're in a relationship with somebody, notice how much time they make for you. Are they thinking of you during the day? Do they contact you on a regular basis? When somebody really likes you, they're going to contact you on a regular basis, on a daily basis. They're going to want to get on the phone with you rather than always texting. I mean, I know we're a world of, technology where a lot of people feel very comfortable with texting. But when somebody is really into you, they're going to want to get on the phone and talk to you because obviously when you talk to somebody on the phone, you get a totally different perception, a totally different vibe for how the person is doing, okay? Just hearing that person's voice, you get a feel for what kind of mood they're in or how they're doing. It actually brings you closer when you get on the phone. So if you're dealing with somebody who likes to get on the phone with you a lot, that's a very good sign, all right? And if you're dealing with somebody who wants to see you on a regular basis, all right, and it's not just once during the week thing, during the week, that's a good sign too. If they're making time for you, they want to go out on the weekends or be with you on the weekends or do things with you. If they want to get to know your family, these are all good signs of somebody who's into you. Somebody who's into you is going to sit there and not going to want to argue all the time. They're going to try to work it out with you, all right? I mean, there are some stubborn people that are very selfish and it's all about them, okay? But somebody that is caring and cares about the relationship is going to want to sit down and try to work it out with you, all right? So you have to keep this in mind when you're dealing with your partners. So you have to see, reflect on your relationship, reflect on whoever you're dating and say to yourself, use your common sense. Say, is this person really making the time for me? Is this person looking to invest time into dating me, okay, rather than just hanging out? There's a lot of people just hanging out. A lot of people that just hang out don't necessarily want something serious, all right? They're going to put their all into something because they're looking at you for the long term. It's not necessarily what comes out of their mouth. It doesn't matter what they're saying to you because on the other side of the coin, a lot of people are afraid to tell you exactly what they're feeling. They may like you and they may like to be around you, but they may be unsure of you. So it doesn't matter if they sit there and they say to you, oh, I love you, or I really like you, or I want a future with you, or I could see you as my future wife or husband. That doesn't matter, you guys. Don't take what anybody says at face value, okay? It matters by if they show you, all right, by their actions, what they're showing you with their actions. Are they giving you their time? Are they giving you their money? If people that want something with you don't have a problem spending money most of the time, okay? Like I said, there's always exceptions, but most of the time they don't. Somebody that is not totally vested with you is not going to want to invest a lot of money into being with you, okay? Unless it's in the very beginning and they have some kind of ulterior motive in their mind, all right? But it won't last. It won't be a consistent thing to go out and to plan a date and do that on a regular basis. Somebody who's not looking to be with you in the long term is not going to do that on a consistent basis, all right, for the long term. So you have to look at that. It's how they treat you. How they treat you is how much they like you, all right? If they're constantly putting you down, but then you have your good moments, you have to weigh it out. You have to weigh it out, okay? First of all, nobody should disrespect you. That's number one. You have to have self-respect for yourself and not allow anybody to disrespect you in any way, all right? But you have to see how this person, how much effort they're putting into being with you or building with you or doing things with you. Are they open to ideas that you suggest? Somebody that really likes you will be more flexible. They won't mind doing something with you that they normally would hate doing, but they're going to do it for you. Okay? They're going to bend. They're going to go that extra mile for you because they really like you, because they really care. So don't mix it up, you guys, with the words that people say. Anybody could say anything, all right? It's how they treat you will show you how much that they like you, okay? There's a lot of different people that really like you, all right? They're going to do things that they don't like to normally do, but because they like you, they will do them, okay? For instance, let's say they don't really like meeting parents, or they don't really like being at a family party, or they don't really want to spend a holiday with you and your family. They'll do that if they really like you. Hey everyone, I want to tell you about the Taking Sides, the Marriage Podcast. On Taking Sides, the Marriage Podcast, listeners are going to send in their relationship questions, their disputes, and their current disagreements. Hosts Dalen and Ashley Seeley, known as the Dashleys on Facebook and YouTube, they're then going to take sides and offer their opinion on the matter. The goal of this podcast is not to be divisive, but rather to learn to come together, gain your tools for making the relationship work, and learn that the best side to take is the one you come up with together, and to learn to disagree without being disagreeable. Sometimes it helps to know that you're not alone, and other couples have experienced the same issues as you do. So listen, you have to go to Taking Sides, the podcast, you guys. If you would like to have your relationship questions answered, you need to send your questions to Taking Sides with the Dashleys at gmail.com to hear the questions answered on the next episode of Taking Sides dash the Marriage Podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. So go to Taking Sides, the Marriage Podcast. All right. And if they want a future with you, they won't mind being around your family. They won't mind being around your friends. They'll try to do that, okay, because they care about you and they want to see you happy. Somebody that cares about you is going to want to see you happy. They're not going to want to see you sad, upset, crying, fighting. They're going to have love for you, okay? They're going to have love for you. They're going to want to be kind to you because you're something that they love and they want to see you happy. So you have to keep these all in your mind when you're dealing with somebody, and you have to really pinpoint the type of person that you're dealing with. All right? Like I always say, there's a lot of selfish people out there that are very difficult to be in relationships with. And you have to ask yourself, am I with somebody that's self-absorbed, very selfish, could be narcissistic, it's all about them, puts me down to make themselves feel better because they have a low self-esteem? You're going to have a difficult time if you're dealing with somebody like that. So you have to pinpoint these characteristics. You have to know your partner's personality. And you have to see if this, I mean, even people that have the most difficult personalities in the world, if they really care about you, they're going to make exceptions and try to work with you, all right? But if they don't care about you, they're not going to care what happens. They're going to walk out on you all the time and then come back, all right? They're not going to care what you say when you complain about what they do or about anything that is upsetting you, all right? They may sit there and listen to you and may say a few words, but they're not really going to try to, show that concern, show that effort to try to work it out. So you have to do some self-reflecting, and you have to look at your partner, and you have to really pinpoint, is this person making the effort, okay? What are they showing me? Are they showing me that they're making a lot of effort to try to work it out with me when we argue, all right? A lot of couples that, end up being strong, they want to always kind of work it out. A lot of couples have fights, but they try to work it out, all right? When you're dealing with somebody that just has that attitude, like they could take it or leave it, that's when the relationship is starting to break, all right? When somebody gets to a point where they don't even fight with you anymore, then you have some major problems going on, because then that person could just walk out at any minute, all right? It's not to say that they won't come back, because in a lot of cases they do come back. It all depends on the nature of the breakup, why you guys broke up, all right? People break up for a lot of different reasons. So when you look at your breakup, a lot of people are always asking, will my partner come back? Will my partner come back? It all depends, you guys. It depends on what your relationship was before the breakup. It depends on, the type of person you're dealing with. It depends on if your partner has had enough. It depends on if you break up and maybe your partner could end up meeting somebody else, during that breakup. Not to say that they're going to stay with them, okay? But they may go on a little hiatus for a while and then eventually come back, all right? Because usually the initial feeling of a breakup is they feel that sense of freedom in the beginning because they're not arguing anymore. They feel that relief, okay? But as time goes on, if you had a strong bond with that person, they're going to miss you. They're going to miss you. And it all depends on how strong your relationship was, how long you guys were together, how much you built together. Did the good outweigh the bad? All right. So if you're going through a breakup, you have to look back on your relationship, and you have to look at the good and you have to look at the bad, and you have to say to yourself, did the good outweigh the bad? Did you guys really have that strong bond, that strong connection that, then that person in a lot of cases will come back. All right. But if your personalities really were clashing and you weren't on the same page, or something major happened in the breakup, okay? For instance, somebody cheated on somebody. In some cases, people don't come back. So it really depends on the nature of your relationship with your partner, all right? In a lot of cases, they do come back though, okay? But you have to really judge it by your own experiences with that person and know the type of person that you're dealing with as well. But the whole thing, and that even goes into, like I had a young lady who told me that her relationship was great with her boyfriend, and it was so loving and everything. And then he just needed his space, and he was contacting his ex, okay? So, it's how they treat you is how they really feel about you. They could be telling you, yeah, everything's great, but maybe in the back of their mind, they weren't 100% vested, but they're not telling you that. So you see what I mean? So, a person generally, if they're in a relationship and they're not 100% invested with you, a lot of times they're not going to tell you that. a lot of times they may be afraid to tell you, oh, I really like you, but I don't know if I could be with you the rest of my life. All right. Or maybe they have some emotional, they're not emotionally available because maybe, they haven't fully gotten over an ex, but they're not going to tell you that. All right. It's not what they tell you. All right. It's how they treat you. How they treat you will give you an idea of how much they like you. And if they were really treating you nice and you really felt that things were going really well, all right, and you felt that that person was there for you, they were giving you their time, they had no problem, in investing their time and their money with you, all right, then that's a very good sign. That's a very good sign, you guys. So that's what you have to look at. But I just wanted to do this podcast really quickly because a lot of people, they're very confused because people always take everything at face value. A lot of people do, all right? A lot of people, they're in a relationship or they're dating somebody and they come back and they said, oh, well, he said, I'm the one, or he said he sees a future with me, or, it could go vice versa with guys and girls, all right, or partner to partner. And I always say, it doesn't matter what he says to you, okay? It matters, how was he treating you? How were you guys when you were together, all right? That's what you have to look at because not everybody is open and honest. A lot of people hold things in. So they're not always going to tell you everything that's on their mind. Like I said, they could like you a lot. They might even, a part of them might even love you a lot, but they may not be 100% in. And the only way you're going to know that is in time with their actions and how they treat you. All right. If they really want you, they will be there. They will come back if they really care. All right. And if they don't, then you have to let it go and say to yourself, they weren't 100% in. All right. Or their personality and my personality, we don't, not everybody's for everybody. Yeah, we might have had some good times, but maybe it wasn't right. And you have to face it. So, you have to really sit down and you have to analyze your situation. Don't just see a lot of people, even when it comes to breakups, they're always looking at the romantic side. They're always looking about all those great times they had with that person or all those romantic words they said to them, how much they loved them and they could see a future with them and, they want to plan a wedding with them or whatever it is, okay? You have to look at everything. You got to look at the downsides of the relationship as well, and not just the romantic side of the relationship, to really get a full idea of how the relationship was. You can't just block out the negative, you guys, all right? You got to look at the whole picture. So I hope that helps you guys. And, it's similar to the same thing, actions talk, all right? It's the same thing. Words have to match their actions. How they treat you is how much they care about you. I hope that helps you. If you like my podcast, please hit the subscribe button and share, and have a great night.